Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Diablo and the quarterly update. So, it's been a little bit over a week, I want to say right now, that the new update, the new quarterly update from Diablo 4 has come out. And more specifically, it was on June the 30th. So, right now, yeah, it's been a little bit over a week. And there's a lot of things to go over. The only thing is that it's more art based, and you're gonna understand why I am saying this and what does that really mean. Not to say that it's not interesting or exciting, but if you guys are looking for more gameplay classes and all that good stuff, that this is essentially what we want to see and we want to hear about. None of it is here. So again, it is very interesting and you're gonna see why. So I broke it down to more, I guess, updates and news. I'll still go over some speculation at the same time, and maybe some interesting news from other sites as well that I was able to find talking about Diablo 4, because it feels like a lot of people were expecting more gameplay, but Blizzard did announce it from before that there's going to be none of that. It's really just the art, the aesthetics. This is what I mean when I talk about art. So, looking at the art now, for me, if you guys are anything like me, yes, it's important because the game has to look amazing, right? When you're playing it, especially going into Diablo 4 now, right? You had 3 games already to make it right. So you're expecting like this huge wow. So, yes, very, very important. But look at these quarterly updates. I'm expecting some type of news when it comes to gameplay actions, classes, builds, spells, something like get my attention, make me want to play this game. It's disappointing that there isn't, but again, you're gonna understand why I'm making this video. What they spoke about is actually pretty interesting. So, number one is customization for your character. This is one of the biggest takeaways that I loved about it. So, you can actually go in and change the hair, the face, the skin, the tattoos, and there's a lot more things that you can go and modify. And essentially, you have a completely different character. And they give you a few examples over here that is such a difference maker. I mean, look at this. You essentially have your rogue, and just by adjusting it and playing around with the customization options, it looks like a completely different class. So that's very nice and unique because it doesn't actually look like everybody's going to have the same standard character, which is great. I mean, when I think about customization, I also think about the builds. I don't really want everybody to have copy paste the exact same type of spells and abilities that I do. But this is kind of like the first step in the right direction because not everybody's going to look like the exact same rogue. Fantastic. Blizzard, great idea. This is something that when you're looking at these type of games, you want to see. You don't want everybody to look exactly the same. And this is something that they came up and it's actually written on the page. So what they're claiming here is we made massive improvements to the level of detail, the surfacing of complex material like skin, cloth, simulation, hair, fur, metal, even down to the detail of the highlight of the eye, which is like, wow, who's gonna even look at that? But great job, Blizzard, for doing that. So they go on by saying, we built a robust character customization system that is entirely new to Diablo, and it was daunting amount of technical character work. So great job for doing all this because definitely there's a lot of work that was put into it. As a gamer, do you really care how much work they put in it? Probably not. I mean, you just want to sit down, give them that give them their cash and play that game. at the end of the day, it is nice to know that they did put so much effort into it. How much effort do you really want to gloat about it? I mean, good for them, but let's move on. The next thing that I really like, and I find is a very nice touch, is they made the cutscenes a little bit more personalized. And what I mean by that is, so as you're reading through this update, it actually says we still have those amazing cinematic moments from Blizzard Animation, but now we also have cinematic moments that feature your character up close, rendered in our game engine. So what this tells me is, so as you're playing the Diablo 4 game, there's going to be cutscenes that actually show your character in that cutscene, similar to what you have, I guess, in World of Warcraft. That there are cutscenes, especially I think Legion did it the most, where as they're having those cutscenes, you're there in the background or you're contributing to the conversation, and you're essentially a part of it. So they added it here too, and I think it's a very nice touch. It makes it feel more personal and really, you know, you're part of the game, which is great. The next thing here is one thing that I really liked about this whole art is the monsters. So there's a lot of things that they did with the monsters that made it look a lot, and I mean a lot more realistic. And I mean, they go pretty graphic in. So I mean, I don't know how you guys like this. I'll let you guys go in and take a look at the Diablo 4 update and just take a little bit better look of how these mobs look and all the details on it. Like, they're very, very nicely done. Very nicely done. There's a lot of work that was put into this. But again, some people might not like it, so I'll let you guys go in and take a look at it yourselves. The last thing is the die system. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that a lot of games that show, different type of dies and how you can change um, your game, your costume. When I say costume, I mean your gear actually. And I think one of the games that I like the most, the way they did it, is the Fable series. If you guys ever played it in Xbox, so there's Fable 1, 2, and 3. And because it actually does do a lot of changes. It makes it look completely different. I know you had it also in Diablo 3, not to take anything away from it, but the reason why I find that the Fable games really made it look great is because it did make it seem like it changed the the armor a little bit with these different colors. And this is what they're going for here. So not only can you actually change the color, but by changing it, you can actually make it look more like leather, metallic. What else did they say? Like it's completely different. It just completely adds on to that color palette, and you can do that through all sorts of gear here, which is absolutely phenomenal. So it's not going to be just one specific gear with one specific look. You can make it look as you want, completely changing the character and how it looks like. So I love this. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard me before in other videos say how much I love customization. I don't want people and other people, I mean, and other players, other characters to look exactly or feel like mine. I want to be unique. Well, here's your chance, because you can have a legendary gear and look absolutely horrendous, and you can just change it to such an extent that the fabric looks completely different. Great job, Blizzard. I love that. Very nicely done. One thing I found, and this is what I'm going to go into a little bit more speculation, is now with this whole update that came out, people have started speculating a lot more when it comes to classes. So, what's going to be the next class? Where do we go from here? which class would you pick, and so on and so forth. And I've actually made videos about this in the past, like way before this quarterly update has come out. And I'm going to put links below so you guys can go take a look at them. For me, I really think that the best and probably the most probable character here might be the Amazon. That should be the next one that I believe that they're going to put. So time will tell, obviously, and you guys can go in and take a look at the previous videos to see all the other candidates. What I really think that, um, what can potentially be a fifth class. Although I do think the Amazon is the best candidate, there's a lot of other options that it could be. You know what? At the bare minimum, in the expansion, I really want them to have a new class. And when I say new class, I don't mean, you know, let's take a wizard, which is essentially a sorcerer, and smack it on a new Diablo game and say that there's a brand new class. It's essentially a wizard, is a sorcerer, is a mage, is a like they're all the same character with minor tweaks here and there, but they do essentially the same type of spells. It's the same feel. Same thing goes with a paladin, crusader, right? Templar. They're all the same type of character. Yes, there's differences, but the whole feel of it, the spells, the fighting skill, they're very similar. So I would love for a bare minimum for the next expansion from Diablo 4 to have like some type of new character, something we haven't seen before. There's a lot of options there, and I might actually make a video completely based on that. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys want to see anything specific when it comes to the channel, to games, to Diablo specifically. As you guys know, I'm a very big Diablo fan. Subscribe, it helps me out a lot, and I will catch you next time. Peace.